Once you understand the blood supply of the eye, now we will move ahead and first discuss about the barriers. In the eye, there is need for the separation of this blood, because eye is extensively, you can say, the extremely sensitive organ. It's the extremely sensitive organ. Okay, for the better function, you know that the retina as the, you can say, the neuroepithelial derivative cell. Okay, it's the photoreceptor, and it need you can say the constant environment, homeostatic environment. So for maintaining those homeostatic environment, blood need to be separate from that environment. No, blood need to be separate from that environment. For that, there is one physical barrier, and that barrier is called as the blood-ocular barrier, or blood-ocular barrier. Okay, blood-ocular barrier. In short, you can say it BOB. Okay, and this is the one physical barrier, first of all, which is separating not from the retina. Okay, they are also separating from the cilia, you can say ciliary body. Okay, blood are also separated from the ciliary body, because you know that your eye have the chambers, that's called the vitreous chamber. Okay, and you have the another chamber as well, that's called the anterior chamber. So for their maintenance, okay, for their, you can say, the composition maintenance, blood need to be separated. Because why blood need to be separated? Why? There must be any reason. No, without the reason, body cannot create a barrier. Okay, body cannot create a barrier. We can create a barrier emotionally by thinking ourselves, but our body parts need a clear-cut idea to make the decisions. Okay, they are not blindly going. Are you understanding, following? So there is a need. And why? Because in our blood, okay, there is a metabolites, you know it. Okay, metabolites, and these metabolites, they are constant. Okay, constant to, you know, constantly changing. They are constantly changing. Means, see, now if you are hungry, okay, you can say the blood sugar level is down. Okay, but suddenly you eat too much, suddenly your blood sugar will raise. Okay, and sometimes you eaten something which is like toxic for your body. Okay, and these sense organs and the other parts, you will study it, that there is one more layer called the blood testicular barrier. Okay, then in the brain, you already understand the BBB, blood brain barrier. Then in your eyes, that's a blood ocular barrier. So there is a separation, because these organs are very delicate organs. Okay, they are very delicate organs. So they need their own constant environment. For maintaining that, there will be a physical barrier. Okay, there will be a physical barrier, and your blood have the, you already told you, it's like subject to changing. Okay, it's always changing. Understanding? It's always changing due to your eaten consumptions. Okay, sometimes you have, your body is not metabolizing the things properly. For case of the kidney, okay, sometimes the hyperuremic condition, sometimes glomerulonephritis. Are you understanding? Okay, sometimes you can say the high concentration of the toxic materials in your blood. Okay, for all these things, they not need to be touched. You can know the very peculiar, very delicate things, very peculiar things, that's your retina. So for that, there will be a one barrier. Okay, there will be one barrier. Then that barrier is called as basically the blood-ocular barrier. That is called as the blood-ocular barrier. Understanding? Now, the blood-ocular barrier, okay, it's a two type. The first type is called as blood-aqueous barrier. Blood-aqueous barrier, and another one is called the blood retinal barrier, blood retinal barrier. Okay, as you seen that there are arteries, okay, there are arteries which is supplying the eye, very good, which is supplying the eye. The arteries are internally lined by the endothelial, okay, they are lined by the endothelium membrane, and they have also basement membrane. Okay, blood vessels also have the basement membrane, one endothelial lining. Clear? One endothelial lining. See how miniature these blood vessels are, but they are, like proper oriented. Okay, they are properly oriented. Now I'm taking the example of blood retinal barrier, okay, and showing you. See, suppose this is retinal artery, a central retinal artery, central retinal artery. Understanding? Now, as far as their histology is concerned, they have the internal endothelial lining, okay, and one basement membrane, okay, one basement membrane, okay, and blood is following, okay, blood is going here. Now you have the retinal cell, you recognize the retina structure, yeah. Retina have one pigmented layer, and there will be a rod and cones, okay, there will be a rod and cones, okay. Then you have the bipolar cell and ganglion, When these blood supply, they come here, there is also a tight junction, okay, there is a tight junctions here, tight junction. These are the called tight junction, which is made by the oculidine. Write down, it's made by the oculidine protein, okay, oculidine. This is made up of by the tight junctions, they are made up by the oculidine protein. And the vessels you are seeing here, the retinal vessels, they are non-fenestrated, okay, they are the non-fenestrated. And the thing is, they strongly prevent, okay, they strongly prevent the large molecules to come inside, okay, large molecules to come inside the neuronal environment. I am showing you just a one rod and cones, but there are many, okay. I am just roughly drawing this diagram. These are the rods, these are the cones, okay, and again you have rod and ganglion cell, bipolar cells, okay, and there will be an optic nerve. Now the thing is, this is strongly, you can say, packed with the tight junction, these are the tight junction. Now you can say the micromolecules which is present, or the larger molecules which is present in the blood, like the plasma proteins, okay, and other substances, they cannot come directly inside the neuronal environment, okay, because once if they will come here inside, if there will no any barrier, then they disrupt the major phototransduction reaction, we can say the neuronal changes, okay, the neuronal impulse generation, they will affect this here. And in the case of chronic, you can say that hyperglycemia or diabetes condition, hyperglycemia, okay, you can say the hypertension, okay, and the pregnancy, okay, we can say the toxic, okay, late toxemia of pregnancy, late toxemia of pregnancy, and there will be a embolism. Now, when there will be a hypertension or hyperglycemia, especially in the case of hyperglycemia, there will be a breakage of this blood-brain, you can say the blood-retinal barrier, okay. And once if this blood-retinal barrier they are destroyed, okay, they will, you can say the break, then there will be a leakage, extravasation of the fluid, okay, extravasation of the fluid, the leakage of the fluid, and that come into this environment, okay, that come into this environment and lead to the blindness, okay, lead to the blindness. In prolonged time that lead to the blindness. Understanding? We will go in deeper into this, understanding the vascular disorder of the retina, but for a while just understand that there is something called blood-ocular barrier, okay, and this ocular barrier is mainly meant for separating the blood environment with the eye environment, okay. The blood-aqueous barrier, they are present between the endothelial of the blood vessel, endothelium of blood vessels, okay, and the non-pigmented, the non-pigmented membrane of ciliary body. Are you getting? Yeah. So this is basically a barrier which is you can say formed by the endothelium of the blood vessel and the non-pigmented membrane of ciliary body, okay. Understanding? Now the important is blood-retinal barrier, okay. Blood-retinal barrier is formed between the pigmented epithelium, okay, pigmented epithelial layer of the retina and you can say the central retinal artery endothelium, okay, central retinal artery endothelium. And the purpose of this barrier is that it's maintain the micro environment of retina, especially the blood retinal barrier, they maintain the micro environment of retina so that retinal cells, especially the photoreceptor cells, will work properly and transmit the photo signals, okay, accurately. Clear? No doubt? Shall we move ahead? Yeah. So till now we studied about the blood supply of eye. That blood supply is mainly done by the ophthalmic branch, which is extremely one of the important branch of the internal carotid artery, okay, internal carotid artery, which arises from the arch of aorta. Then we seen the blood-ocular barrier. There are two types of blood-ocular barrier. One is called the blood-aqueous barrier and another one is called as the blood-retinal barrier. Now once you understood about the blood supply of eye and blood-ocular barrier, let's move ahead and discuss about the vascular disorder of retina.